So here we go in the fifth. Glavine and Johnson 1-1 game 5 of the National League Championship Series. Counsell down a strike.
Once again, if you're going to pitch him away, play him away. Look how close Gilkey is to the left field line. Counsell's been hitting the ball over there all series long. Might be a little bit deep. Counsell's not going to hit the ball real deep that way, and the objective is to try to catch that ball that bounces in front of him.
We mentioned hit a pair of balls right on the nose towards Glavine in game 2, and both were caught. Come inside that time, and boy, if you're going to miss, you better make sure you do miss inside. You leave it out over the plate, he's running all day long if he hooks it.
Craig Counsell, he already told us that ball's a little bit off the plate. He told us that he was going to look for the ball away all the time. He's done a great job of sticking with that game plan.
Pulls this one to the right side. Giles can't make the play. More than likely an error will be ruled on Marcus Giles. Well, now everyone getting in, unfortunately, for the Braves on the error act here in the last couple of nights. Jones and Sanchez on back-to-back plays to begin the third inning last night, and now Giles to open the fifth tonight. Seven errors now for the Braves in this series. One and one on Gonzalez.
You don't figure a lot of guys to be off to the races as far as stealing bases with Glavine on the mound. Great move over to first. Varies his moves over to first. I think if you're a left-hander, as you brought up the other night, if you don't have a good move as a left-hander, you're really wasting one of the weapons that you have as far as holding runners on. You should have 2 or 3 different moves over there, and sometimes your most effective move should be when you actually throw the ball home.
2-1 on Gonzalez.
Counsell on a couple of those balls that Glavine threw to the plate was actually leaning and taking a hop step back to first. The lefty can really hold you and get you to feel bad about how far you're off first base just by lifting his leg, holding there a little bit, and then delivering the ball to home.
2-1 on Luis Gonzalez. Rolls over one to the right side. Franco going to second. They get the out and no return throw. Excellent play by Julio Franco.
As well as anybody's ever seen over there.
Foul out a play by Reggie Sanders on 1.
And he has done nothing in this series to make us think otherwise. He's been brilliant over there. Look how quickly he gets over there. Reverse pivot. Opens up. Makes a good throw to second. A lot of first basemen on a ball, if they have to move to their right on a little chopper like that, in their mind they're going to be thinking, the ball's not hit very hard. I'm having to move 5, 6, 7, 8 steps to my right. I'm not going to have time to get the guy at second. They take the easy play at first and don't get the lead runner.
0-2 to Sanders. Don't you think that might have a lot to do with the fact that Franco was a middle infielder in his former life?
Absolutely. His ability to make that reverse pivot, his tenacity as far as going to field a ground ball. He's very comfortable doing all that stuff. Just footwork around the bag and his bunt plays that are a little bit sketchy right now because he hasn't played over there very often. But once you make him react like an infielder, he becomes that old second baseman that we used to watch play for Texas.
Now a play again by Sanders. It'll stay 0-2. Sanders walked in the opening inning, flied out to right in the fourth, and you saw a moment ago Glavine closing in on 100 pitches, and we're only in the 5th inning. He's working on 3 days rest.
And just a quick footnote to that play that Franco made there at second. That play has a lot less to do with athletic ability and has a lot more to do with confidence and guts. Some guys just don't have the guts to make that play.
0-2 to Sanders. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Third strikeout of the night for Tom Glavine. Keep this series alive, and now we are told Mark Grace has a tight right hamstring, and he'll have to leave the game. Erubiel Durazo will come on to pinch hit. Durazo more than likely will just stay in the game to play first base. And they think Durazo is going to be a big-time hitter for many, many years to come. Signed out of his homeland of Mexico. Was the starting first baseman on the '99 Diamondback team that went to the playoffs. Was injured almost all of last year. Has 5 pinch hit home runs this season. 0-2.
I think this is a good move by Bob Brenly. Not just sending a right-handed pinch hitter up there in this situation, even though Durazo's a lefty facing Glavine. Durazo's going to stay in the game and play first base. Don't waste a potential pinch hitting appearance for someone that you might need later in the game. We're only in the 5th.
0-2. Blown away, although defense in a 1-1 game is a huge part of the equation. And Durazo not in the same league with Grace defensively.
We've already seen a couple balls thrown in the dirt that he picked.
Durazo is the most dangerous weapon off the bench in the National League the first half of this season. Foul out of play. Then trying to score from third base in a game in Denver. Or actually covering the plate when Terry Shumpert tried to score from third. Shumpert, who later was suspended, threw an elbow that hit Durazo in the head, causing a concussion. He was not the same hitter over the last 2 months until about the last 3 weeks. Two and two.
Well, we were having a lot of fun with Grace and his ability to run the bases that when he was out there on second base, but I got to think that hamstring, the tight hamstring, came from that play where he scored, and it looked like Grace was coming around third looking like he figured he had to slide, and then when they didn't put the slide sign on, sometimes you adjust the way you step to try to just stand up, and that a lot of times that adjustment is what can do it to you.
Durazo hammers one into deep left field, back to the wall. Goodbye. We told you Erubiel Durazo was the single most lethal weapon in the National League off the bench before he had a concussion. And in his first career at bat against Tom Glavine, he delivers an opposite field pinch hit 2-run home run.
When he goes up there looking to pull the ball, he's not nearly as good a hitter. If he thinks into the opposite field gap like he did right there, stays on top of that pitch, waits on it a little bit better, and that's some serious opposite field pop.
0-1 to Matt Williams. Strike 2. Remember the Diamondbacks, along with the San Francisco Giants, set the major league record this year with 14 pinch hit home runs. Durazo had 5 before the All-Star break, and he was well on his way to breaking the single season individual mark held by Dave Hansen before the concussion. Popped up into foul territory, and it's out of play. And there are a lot of scouts that have been talking over the last 2-3 months of the season that Durazo is the guy the Atlanta Braves want in a trade to be their everyday first baseman. Arizona has said all along at the trade deadline they were not going to deal Durazo.
Well, they better wait in line. There's going to be a lot of organizations that would be willing to have Durazo in their starting lineup.
Williams, a fly ball to straightaway center field. Andrew Jones backpedals, and that's the inning. But not before an injured hamstring by Mark Grace brings Erubiel Durazo to the plate. 3-1 Arizona.